What if I told you a single 25-cent coin, sitting quietly in your drawer right now, could be worth nearly $1 million? Would you still let it collect dust? Today, we're diving deep into the world of the legendary 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter. Yes, a coin once used to buy a soda, now making headlines for selling at $9.67, 500. You heard that right. Just one coin. Almost $1 million. Now, you might be thinking, come on, how is that even possible? But here's the truth. This is not a myth. Not a rumor. It's a market reality, and people just like you, regular Americans, are turning old pocket change into life-changing fortunes. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the real deal, and why time is running out to cash in. And hey, before you toss that old quarter into a vending machine, maybe hold off until you hear this story. Let's begin. The year was 1965. America was changing. The coinage system had just undergone a massive shift. Silver was being phased out of our circulating coins, and for the first time, quarters were being made from a copper-nickel clad instead of the 90% silver we'd grown accustomed to. But here's where it gets interesting. Although the U.S. Mint had officially stopped producing silver quarters in 1964, a handful of 1965 quarters were accidentally, or some say secretly, struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from the previous year. No mint mark. No silver warning. Just an unassuming coin with a secret worth a fortune. It was a mistake, but it became a miracle for collectors. One of these silver 1965 quarters, in pristine condition, sold for an astonishing $967,500 at auction. And several others have fetched tens and even hundreds of thousands. Why? Because rarity drives value. And this coin is the very definition of rare. Now here's the million-dollar question. Do you have one? Before you say no, listen closely. Because the clues are subtle, and most people overlook them completely. Quick quiz. What's the only thing scarier than losing $1 million coin, giving it away as change for a coffee? Don't laugh. It's happened. One man spent a rare 1965 silver quarter at a gas station, unaware it was worth more than his car, still feeling confident about that coin jar. Here's how to identify the treasure hiding in plain sight. First, check the edge of the coin. A standard 1965 clad quarter shows a distinct copper stripe along the edge. But the rare silver version? Solid silver, no stripe at all. Second, weigh the coin. A clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But the silver version? Heavier, around 6.25 grams. Lastly, listen. Literally. Drop the coin gently on a hard surface. A clad coin makes a dull clink. But a silver coin? It sings with a high-pitched ring. These three simple checks could be the difference between 25 cents and a down payment on a mansion. But here's the twist. Time is not on your side. Collectors are scrambling to find these coins, and every month, more are being locked away in private collections forever. That means fewer available, higher demand, and skyrocketing prices. Now, let's talk money. So how much is your 1965 quarter worth? If it's the rare silver version, as of today, high-grade specimens are being valued between $50,000 and $967,000 depending on condition, luster, and certification. Even moderately circulated ones can fetch 5 figures, and with precious metal prices rising, some experts believe we could see 7-figure sales within the next few years. Yes, 7 figures, for a quarter. But here's the kicker. Most people who own one don't even know it. That's why knowing how to authenticate, certify, and sell is crucial. You don't want to fall into the trap of selling to a pawn shop for pennies when collectors are waiting with checkbooks ready. Get it graded. Reputable companies like PCGS or NGC can certify its authenticity. Once graded, you'll have documentation, a professional appraisal, and access to top-tier coin auctions where the big money lives. Now you might be thinking, what if I don't have the 1965 silver quarter? Well, here's the shocker. This isn't the only coin worth a fortune hiding in your change. There are dozens more quarters, dimes, nickels, even pennies, that are flipping ordinary people into overnight success stories. And in our next video, I'll reveal 3 more coins that are turning heads at auctions and breaking record sales. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. this isn't just about a coin. It's about a second chance. A path to financial freedom. A way to turn forgotten change into a legacy. So go check that old coin jar. Dig through that kitchen drawer. Revisit those childhood collections, because sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the greatest value, and today, might just be the day you discover yours. This isn't just another coin story. This is a real, high-stakes treasure hunt. Because one of these quarters, a specific 1971 D variety, recently caught the numismatic world by storm with a staggering market value of $967,000. Yes, that's right. From a quarter, to nearly $1 million. Still think pocket change is just spare metal? Let's dive deep into the story of how one of America's most overlooked coins became a millionaire maker, and how you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. Let's rewind to 1971. The Vietnam War was raging, Disney World had just opened, and the Denver Mint was busy striking millions of Washington quarters. Most of them were completely ordinary, mass-produced, widely circulated, and worth just 25 cents. But among them, a few were different. These were the coins that slipped past quality control. Struck with unusual die errors, rare planchet combinations, or misalignments that make them exceptionally rare today. And here's where the real tension begins. You see, not all 1971 D quarters are valuable. In fact, 99.999% of them are practically worthless. But it's that 1 in a million anomaly that creates the storm. One such coin, authenticated by top grading agencies, was found with a rare double die reverse and struck on a 40% silver planchet intended for collector sets only. A wild accident. A minting mistake. But it turned a 25-cent coin into a fortune. Think about that. One quarter. One error. One collector who paid almost $1 million to own it. And here's the question. What if you unknowingly have the next one? Before you rush to the coin jar, let me break down what makes these coins special, and how to spot them. Now, let me ask you a weird question. When's the last time you looked at a coin through a magnifying glass and thought, this could buy me a house? If your answer is, never, then you're exactly like most people, until they learn what I'm about to share next, because now we move from mystery to method. Here's what to look for in a high-value 1971 D Washington quarter, mint mark. The D on the coin indicates it was minted in Denver. It should appear clearly on the front, to the right of Washington's ponytail, double die reverse. This is a doubling of the design elements on the back of the coin. Look closely at the word United States of America, the eagle's feathers, and the word quarter dollar. If they look doubled, magnified, or shadowed, that's your first red flag. Wrong planchet. Most quarters from 1971 are copper-nickel clad. But a few were struck on 40% silver planchets left over from special mint sets. These are heavier, slightly shinier, and ring with a higher pitch when dropped on a table. Condition: coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, meaning mint state, virtually uncirculated, are the ones that fetch the highest value. A coin with even the right errors but heavy wear won't break six figures. Now, if your quarter matches any of these, don't clean it, don't spend it, and for the love of George Washington, don't throw it back in your drawer. Get it professionally appraised. Because the market is hot right now, and buyers are ready. Now you might be wondering, how many of these coins are still out there, unclaimed? And here's the truth that will keep you up tonight: we don't know. The last known high-value sale happened privately, no auction, no public record, just whispers from insiders. Which means, there could be more. And they're likely sitting in someone's dusty jar, a forgotten sock drawer, or that old coffee can in grandma's basement. Let me be clear, we are not talking about pipe dreams. This is real, documented, and repeatable. Ordinary Americans, just like you, have cashed in old coins for luxury homes, college tuition, or complete financial freedom. This isn't just about the thrill of the hunt. It's about transformation. It's about turning knowledge into wealth. And if you're watching this video, it means you're already ahead of 90% of the population who never give their pocket change a second thought. So here's what to do next. First, check every 1971 D quarter you can get your hands on. Look for that double die. Weigh it. Examine the luster. Then, if you think you've got something special, reach out to a professional coin dealer or grading service. Do not sell to the first person who offers you $50 on eBay. You might be giving away a future you'll regret losing, and here's one final question to leave you thinking: what if you don't check, and someone else finds that $1 million coin in the same roll you almost threw away? Don't wait. Don't assume. The time is now. Because these coins are disappearing fast, and when they're gone for good. Your wealth may already be in your hands. You just haven't looked closely enough yet. Stay curious. Stay sharp. And always remember, in the world of rare coins, even a quarter can change your life forever. Did you know there's a 25-cent coin from 1981 that could make you a millionaire overnight? Yes, a simple Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark could be hiding in your old change jar, worth over $961,000 today. Sounds insane, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to verify it, and how to turn it into serious cash. You don't want to find out 5 years from now that you gave it away for a cup of coffee. Let's dive into the fascinating story of the 1981 P quarter, and how it could change your life. The year was 1981. Ronald Reagan had just taken office, MTV was born, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was quietly striking millions of quarters. Business as usual, but in that very batch, something went wrong, and what came out of it wasn't just a quarter, it was a hidden treasure. Imagine the irony: millions of these coins were minted, but only a handful carry the rare air that makes them worth a fortune. These are the coins collectors dream about, but almost nobody knows they exist. So, what happened? An extremely rare die error occurred. In simple terms, the die, that's the metal stamp used to imprint the coin, was slightly misaligned or overused, causing certain coins to have unique features like a double die, off-center strikes, or even missing details on the mint mark or George Washington's profile. These subtle mistakes, they're invisible to most people, but to a trained eye, they're like striking gold. Now before you start flipping your couch cushions looking for quarters, hold on, unless you've also been hiding a metal detector and a magnifying glass under there. Let's walk through exactly what makes this coin so valuable. The 1981 quarter with the P mint mark might look like any other. But under the right light, and with a bit of magnification, some coins show a doubling effect on the lettering, a faint outline around the mint mark, or a weak strike on George Washington's eye or jawline. One of the most valuable specimens recently sold for $961,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that originally cost 25 cents is now worth more than a house in most American cities. What gives it this value? Condition. The closer it is to uncirculated, the better. Rarity. Only a few of these flawed coins were produced. Historical interest. It's a coin from the early Reagan era, adding political and cultural value. But here's where the excitement turns into urgency. Collectors are actively hunting these coins right now. Prices are rising fast, and your coin, if it's real, could become even more valuable tomorrow than it is today. But wait, how do you know if the coin you're holding is the right one? Coming up next, I'll reveal how to spot the exact features that separate a common coin from one that could change your financial future. Alright. So you've got a pile of old quarters. Here's what to do. First, look for the mint mark, P, just beside Washington's ponytail. If you see it, you're still in the game. Next, examine it under light. You're looking for any of the following: doubling on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," a soft strike or shadowed mint mark, a coin that feels slightly off-center, unusual toning or luster. If your coin checks any of these boxes, it's time to take it to a professional coin appraiser. Do not list it on eBay for $20. That's like selling a Rolex at a garage sale. Reach out to certified grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They can verify the authenticity and condition, which will determine its true market value. Now here's the transformation part, and it's personal. Imagine taking something that's been sitting in your drawer for decades, and turning it into a new car, a debt-free home, or even a retirement fund. That's not just luck. That's smart living. And if you're still thinking, what are the odds I have one of these? Let me ask you this: what are the odds the last person who found one thought they did? Coins like the 1981 P quarter are rare, but not impossible to find. People are discovering valuable coins in coin jars, old wallets, inherited boxes, even stuck between car seats. But every day you wait, the value could fluctuate, or worse, someone else could find it before you. So here's what I want you to do right now: check your quarters, look for the signs, get it appraised. Don't settle for less than what it's worth, because that one coin could be the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you're no longer worrying about money, you're living life on your terms, thanks to a 25-cent piece you never thought twice about. Now that's the real value of knowledge. Because in this video, we're diving into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern American coin history, the 1982 P. Washington quarter. Yes, a regular-looking 25-cent coin from over 4 decades ago, with a hidden secret that makes it worth up to $959,000 today. Let that sink in. That's almost $1 million for a coin you might already have lying at the bottom of your drawer. If you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me. Because by the time this story ends, you'll be checking every quarter you own, and you might never look at pocket change the same way again. But here's the twist. Most people miss this coin. They overlook it. They throw it in a vending machine or drop it in a tip jar. And in doing so, they might be throwing away the key to a new life. Let's begin this journey together. The year was 1982. Gas was cheap. Cable TV was booming. And somewhere in the Philadelphia Mint, something went wrong, or, perhaps, incredibly right. That year, the U.S. Mint made a bold cost-cutting move. They decided to remove mint marks from many coins to save on production costs. But not all coins got the memo. A batch of 1982 Philadelphia minted quarters, known as the 1982 P. Washington quarters, made it out with critical errors. These weren't just minor flaws, they were production mistakes so rare, they turned this everyday coin into a numismatic legend. Imagine this, a coin that was supposed to be printed by the millions, but only a few made it out with the specific characteristics collectors drool over. Weak strikes, missing mint marks, or the ever-elusive die variety known as strong reverse or no mint mark anomaly. One of these ultra-rare 1982 P quarters was recently evaluated and appraised at nearly $959,000. And yes, that price is real. Now you might ask, what makes this quarter so special? Here's where it gets interesting. First, it's the error itself. The most valuable 1982 P quarter is struck on a planchet with a dramatic misalignment in the die strike, resulting in warped text, uneven surfaces, and the holy grail, missing or weakened features. Second, it's the condition. Coins graded in mint state, especially MS 67 or higher, multiply in value tenfold. And with 1982 being a year full of inconsistent minting, collectors are chasing flawless examples like treasure hunters after lost gold. And finally, supply and demand. Only a handful of pristine examples have ever surfaced. The demand among elite collectors, investors, and auction houses is driving prices through the roof. But here's what they won't tell you: most people don't realize they're sitting on a fortune until it's too late. Quick question: when's the last time you paid attention to your quarters? Be honest. Most of us treat them like they're just coins. But here's a fun thought: what if your next trip to the laundromat is the first step to early retirement? Don't laugh. Stranger things have happened. Here's where fear enters the story, because while some are getting rich, others are unknowingly giving away generational wealth. Thousands of these coins could still be in circulation, in pocket change, in coin jars, forgotten in glove compartments. What if your 1982 quarter is the one? Would you recognize it? Would you know what to look for? And most importantly, would you act fast enough before someone else does? Let's talk about how to identify this life-changing coin. The first step: date and mint mark. Check your coin. Does it say 1982? If so, look to the right of Washington's neck. If there's a weak or missing P, pay close attention. You might have one of the rare error coins. Next, the strike. Does the quarter appear slightly off-center? Does the text look faint, blurred, or flattened? Those are red flags worth investigating. Then comes the condition. Grab a magnifying glass. Examine the edges, the luster, and any signs of wear. If it looks like it's barely been touched, it might just be MS grade quality, the kind collectors fight over. So what should you do next? Get it graded. Reach out to a reputable coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply your coin's value instantly. It's like turning a dusty dollar bill into a verified check for hundreds of thousands, still wondering if it's worth the effort. In 2023, one 1982 P quarter graded at MS-67 was auctioned off for over $900,000. That's nearly $1 million, for a coin that once bought a gumball. And here's the thing, the story doesn't end with the 1982 P. This is just one of many coins hiding in plain sight. The kind of coin that turns everyday people into millionaires. But only if they act. So, what's in your pocket right now? Are you holding on to change, or onto a future you never imagined? The answer could be closer than you think. In our next video, we'll reveal the top 5 other quarters currently being hunted by collectors, coins that are still in circulation and could change your life overnight. So stay tuned. Stay curious. And don't ever overlook another quarter again. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button so more collectors can discover their hidden treasure. And if you're serious about finding, grading, and selling rare coins for real profit, subscribe now and turn your coin collection into your legacy. Yes, you heard that right. One recently sold for an eye-watering $953,000. And chances are, you might be holding one without even realizing it. But before you run to your coin jar, here's a question. What makes this coin worth nearly $1 million while others are barely worth 25 cents? Stick with me. Because over the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the truth behind the 1987 D Washington quarter, what makes it incredibly valuable, how you can spot one, and why now might be your last chance to cash in before prices explode even further. You've worked hard your whole life. Bills, responsibilities, and maybe even retirement on the horizon. So when you hear about people making life-changing money from a coin they forgot existed, it sounds almost unbelievable, but it's happening. More often than you think, collectors are paying massive premiums for coins like the 1987 D quarter, not just because they're rare, but because they complete collections, unlock registry awards, and hold serious historical significance. Now here's the kicker, most people will throw these coins into vending machines or cash counters, never knowing what they just gave away. Imagine handing over $1 million coin for a bag of chips. I mean, that's the most expensive snack in history. Hope it came with free soda. Let's dive deeper. The 1987 D quarter was minted in Denver. Over 655 million were produced that year. So naturally, you're wondering, how can something so common become so valuable? Here's the secret, it's not about quantity, it's about condition, errors, and timing. Most 1987 D quarters are worth face value. But a very limited number have what experts call strike-through errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or were minted with exceptional sharpness and pristine condition, known as MS-68 and above, and those ultra-rare examples. They're the ones changing lives. One such coin graded MS-68 by PCGS crossed the auction block at nearly $1 million, shocking even seasoned collectors. Now here's the real question, how do you know if the 1987 D in your pocket is the jackpot, or just another quarter? I'll reveal the 3 specific traits that every high-value 1987 D quarter must have, right after this. Under magnification, the coin must be free from scratches, nicks, or wear. These high-grade coins were likely never circulated, that original mint shine must be fully intact. If it looks like it was just struck yesterday, you're in business. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or perfect alignment make these coins exceptional. Registry quality coins, top of the population charts, are the ones investors chase, but here's the catch, these coins are being scooped up fast. And prices are rising. What sold for $10,000 a few years ago is now nearing $1 million. If you're thinking, well, I'll check later, let me remind you, later never made anyone rich. So what do you do next? Step 1, check your change. Especially jars, drawers, and old coin folders. Look for a 1987 D quarter in excellent condition. Use a magnifying glass. Compare it to online images of graded coins. Step 2, get it evaluated. Use a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if you're unsure, a second opinion can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Step 3, don't settle for face value. These coins are commanding premium prices at auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections. Find a professional dealer or auction platform, don't just take it to the bank that you've worked too hard to overlook a chance like this. This isn't just about a coin. It's about what that coin can do for you: freedom from financial stress, the trip you never took, the dream home you always imagined. Sometimes, the road to wealth doesn't start with a paycheck. Sometimes, it starts with curiosity. And a quarter, what if that $1,000,000 coin is already in your house? Or worse, what if you've already spent it? The only way to know is to look now. So, will you be the next person to discover a fortune hiding in plain sight, or will you let it slip through your fingers? So before you toss that spare change into a vending machine, let me ask you something: are you absolutely sure you're not giving away your financial freedom one coin at a time? Today, we're unlocking the truth behind a coin that turned ordinary people into millionaires, and it could be hiding in your drawer right now. Let's rewind the clock to 1989. The year the Berlin Wall fell, the Game Boy was released, and deep inside the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. A small batch of Washington quarters were struck with critical errors. Most were released into circulation unnoticed. But a few, just a few, carried mistakes so rare, collectors today would pay close to $1 million to own one. Now, you might be wondering, what could possibly make such a common-looking coin worth a fortune? Well, it comes down to a perfect storm of rarity, minting defects, and collector demand. Some of these quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchets. Others have double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing clad layers, and one coin, authenticated by top grading companies, sold privately for $950,000 due to a combination of extreme rarity and perfect preservation. Let that sink in. A coin you could have found in a pocket back in 1989, now worth more than most people's lifetime savings. Now hold on. Before you rush to flip over every quarter in your house like a treasure-hunting raccoon, breathe, because there's a method to identifying these rare ones, and I'll guide you through it. Let's dive deeper into what makes the 1989 D quarter so valuable. First, check for the mint mark. It should be a small d located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That tells us it was minted in Denver. Now, condition matters a lot. Collectors pay top dollar for coins graded MS67 and above. That means the coin must be in pristine, uncirculated condition, with zero wear and clean surfaces. Imagine the difference between a vintage Corvette in a junkyard and one kept in a glass case its entire life. Same year. Same model. Vastly different value, but here's where it gets really exciting. Some of these quarters were mistakenly struck on a copper planchet instead of the standard copper nickel clad. This error makes the coin weigh slightly less and gives it a duller tone. If you have one, it could be your golden ticket. Others may show signs of doubling on the date or lettering. If you spot a 1989 D quarter with a double "In God We Trust" or a blurry looking date, do not spend it. That's not damage. That's a minting error, and a sign that your coin could be worth hundreds of thousands. Now here's the part most people miss, and it's where the real money hides, because there's one trait that can instantly multiply your quarter's value tenfold, but almost no one checks for it. We'll get to that in just a moment. That final trait. Provenance. If your coin has a well-documented history, has been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, and is verified as a rare error, its value skyrockets. This is where collectors pull out their checkbooks. I've seen coins jump from $10,000 to nearly $1 million simply because they were encapsulated, certified, and came from a known estate or collection. So, what should you do if you think you have one? Start by weighing your quarter. A normal 1989 D should weigh 5.67 grams. Anything noticeably less? Red flag, in a good way. Next, get a professional appraisal. Do not clean the coin. Do not polish it. That could destroy its value. Then, send it to a trusted grading service. The cost is minimal compared to the potential reward, and here's the final truth. These coins are still out there. In old jars, sock drawers, and coin collections passed down from grandparents. This isn't a fantasy. It's a wake-up call, because in the world of rare coins, opportunity doesn't knock, it jingles. So here's your challenge. Tonight, instead of watching the same old reruns or scrolling through endless news feeds, go dig through your coins, check your quarters. Look for that 1989 D with the right weight, errors, and condition, because the next millionaire could be someone who simply paid attention, someone who took action. Not because it's gold. Not because it's old. But because it hides a secret, a minting error so rare, collectors are fighting to get their hands on it, and here's the wild part, it still looks like an everyday quarter. So how can something so small, so overlooked, turn into a fortune? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and maybe, just maybe, your coin jar is your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Let's dig in. Let's rewind the clock to 1990. The U.S. Mint in Denver was busy striking millions of Washington quarters. Most were flawless, standard, unremarkable. But then, something unusual happened. Somewhere in that massive minting process, a small batch of quarters slipped through the cracks, minted with critical errors, striking anomalies, and in some cases, struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, a mistake." Remember, it's the errors that make coins valuable. Collectors don't want perfection. They want the flaws. The misprints. The rare anomalies. Here's the catch, the 1990 D quarter that fetched nearly $1 million wasn't flashy. It wasn't gold-plated. It didn't have a diamond embedded in it. It was simply rare. A minting mistake made it one of a kind. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of mistake can make a 25-cent coin worth more than a luxury home? Great question, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually looked, really looked, at your spare change? I mean, most people just toss it in a drawer, or worse, give it to the vending machine like it's worthless. But what if that handful of coins could be your early retirement plan? Sounds crazy, right? But it's happening, and it's happening to everyday people just like you. Quick quiz: which is harder to find, a rare 1990 D quarter or your reading glasses when you really need them? If you said the quarter, you might be right, but only if you haven't checked your change lately. Now, let's talk specifics. The 1990 D quarter that sold for $947,000 had a mint error known as a wrong planchet strike. This means it was mistakenly struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination, not a quarter. That's like ordering a burger and getting a steak with gold leaf on it. It wasn't supposed to happen. But it did, and that's why collectors are going crazy for it. What makes this error even more fascinating is that it's invisible to the average. It takes knowledge. It takes awareness. And yes, it takes a bit of luck, but the best part? You don't need a coin collection. You don't need a microscope, you just need the curiosity to look, and the courage to believe that wealth can come in unexpected forms. Now here's the kicker: this isn't the only valuable quarter out there. In fact, there's another 1990 D quarter that experts believe could break $1 million at auction. It hasn't surfaced yet, but when it does, it could make headlines again. Could it be sitting in someone's drawer right now? Could it be in yours? Here's what you need to do right now. Go through your quarters. Focus on 1990 with the D mint mark, located just beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse. Look for signs of irregularities, off-center strikes, extremely light or missing design elements, coins that appear thinner, darker, or oddly colored, or coins that just feel different in your hand. If you suspect something unusual, don't toss it aside, contact a certified coin appraiser. Better yet, submit it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading, because once a coin like this is graded and verified, the bidding war begins, and trust me, collectors don't blink when there's rarity on the line. Time is everything. Every day, more coins are lost, damaged, or melted down. The window to discover these treasures is closing, and fast. Do you want to be the person who sold a rare quarter for 50 cents at a garage sale, or the person who cashed in nearly $1 million from a coin you forgot you had? Serious question: if someone handed you $947,000 right now, what's the first thing you'd do? New house? Dream vacation? Pay off everything and disappear to an island? Now, what if I told you that dream might be sitting in your pocket? The 1990 D quarter changed someone's life forever, and somewhere out there, another one is waiting to be found. Maybe it's in a forgotten coin jar, maybe it's in a relative's old collection. Or maybe, just maybe, it's right in front of you. Will you be the one to find it? Start searching. Start looking. And when you do, let us know, because the next success story could be yours. That's not a fantasy. That's the story of the 1994 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, a 25-cent coin now worth over $943,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million, from a single quarter. So what makes this coin so valuable? How can you tell if you have one hiding in your house right now? And what should you never do if you think you found one? Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how one overlooked mistake from the US Mint turned into a life-changing jackpot for collectors, and how that opportunity might still be in your hands. But first, let's take a step back and understand where this story begins. The year is 1994. Bill Clinton is president, gas is just over $1 a gallon, and the average person doesn't give a second thought to the coins jingling in their pocket. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, something unusual happens. At the US Mint, a small batch of Washington quarters is struck, with a near-flawless finish, rare die errors, and stunning misalignments. Some of these coins never make it through the usual inspection process. They're released into circulation, blending in with millions of other coins. No alarms. No headlines. Just ordinary quarters, or so it seems. Now, here's where things get exciting. Decades later, collectors start to notice these 1994 quarters selling for thousands, even hundreds of thousands, at auction. And just recently, one of them sold for a staggering $943,000, let that sink in. A coin once worth 25 cents, now commanding more than most people's annual salary. So, what's the catch? Let's talk value. Because this isn't about just any 1994 quarter, the $1 million coins are rare error coins, often with one or more of the following features: double die obverse, where the image of George Washington's profile appears slightly doubled off center strike, where the coin is visibly misaligned, with missing portions or strange borders, full drum lines on the reverse, a telltale sign of a strong, well-preserved strike, clipped planchets or die cracks, physical anomalies that scream mint error. Now, here's a question that might jolt you a little: have you ever checked the coins in your junk drawer under a magnifying glass? Because if not, you might be sitting on one of these rare errors without even knowing it. Here's another twist: the current coin market is on fire. Wealthy private collectors, coin dealers, and even celebrities are bidding on rare US quarters like never before. As economic uncertainty grows, people are rushing to tangible assets, and rare coins are topping that list. In other words, the window to profit from your old coins may be shrinking fast, and that brings us to a critical moment, one that could mean the difference between cashing in or cashing out empty-handed. Now, let me guess, you're thinking, okay, but why would anyone pay nearly $1 million for a quarter? Is it made of gold? Is it haunted? Nope. It's just history, rarity, and timing. But here's the kicker: most people throw these coins away, or worse, spend them at the gas station for gum and lotto tickets. Crazy, right? Let's bring this back to you. If you're someone who's held onto old coins, or inherited a dusty coin box from a grandparent, now is the time to start digging, because these valuable quarters aren't locked in museums or guarded in elite vaults. They're out there, tucked away in homes, passed through flea markets, mixed in with laundry change. And here's the reality: every day, someone sells one of these coins without realizing what they had. Every week, a lucky finder goes from broke to blessed. So what should you do if you suspect you found a 1994 quarter worth serious money? Let's talk about that next. But first, a warning: there's one mistake coin owners make that can instantly drop the value of their quarter by tens of thousands of dollars. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment, and how you can avoid it, because the final act of this story is the most important one yet. Here's the number one rule: if you find a potentially valuable coin, do not clean it. Ever. Even the smallest scratch from a cleaning cloth can destroy the coin's numismatic value. Instead, follow this checklist: handle the coin by its edges only, place it in a soft, acid-free coin holder, get a professional appraisal, ideally from a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC, document everything, including where and when you found it, never rush to sell. Let the market work for you, because sometimes patience pays even more than luck. So what's the takeaway? Your path to a wealthier lifestyle could start with something sitting right under your nose. A single overlooked quarter could unlock your financial freedom, spark a legacy, or fund the dream you've postponed for years. And with rare coin values soaring, especially coins like the 1994 Washington quarter, the time to act is now, because if you don't check, someone else might. And they'll be the ones walking away with $1 million smile. Sounds insane, right? But stay with me, because this story isn't just about a coin, it's about an opportunity that could change your financial life. A man in Denver is clearing out his late father's belongings. He finds a dusty metal box filled with loose change. Most of it seems ordinary, but something tells him to take a closer look. One coin, in particular, stands out, faded edges, worn face, but stamped with the year 1997 and a small D underneath the image of George Washington. He tosses it on the table. Later, out of curiosity, he looks it up. The next week, that same coin sells for $940,000 at auction. Now pause for a second. Think about your own collection. Do you have any 1997 quarters sitting unnoticed in an old coin folder, a kitchen drawer, or even in a piggy bank? Because this isn't just a story, it's a wake-up call. So why on earth would a 1997 D quarter be worth nearly $1 million? Let's break this down. First, it's all about errors and rarity. The specific coin we're talking about was struck with a rare die misalignment, creating what collectors call a double strike with partial color. To the average eye, it may just look off-center. To a seasoned collector, it's a goldmine. Add to that the pristine condition, graded as MS-68, and the Denver Mint origin, and you have a coin that's not just rare, it's almost one of a kind. And here's the twist. These coins aren't always found in museums or elite collections. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, in homes just like yours. Quick question. When was the last time you actually checked the coins you're using at the grocery store or pulling from the laundry machine? Yeah, thought so. If your idea of treasure hunting is checking under couch cushions for remote controls, it's time to upgrade your game plan, because while you've been binge-watching TV shows and ignoring your spare change, someone else just made nearly $1 million from a coin you might have handed over at the gas station last week. Now let's talk numbers. According to recent auction reports, the highest verified sale of a 1997 D quarter with this error type reached $940,000. Several others have sold for $10,000 to $85,000, depending on condition and error type, and here's the scary part, the number of known examples is incredibly low. That means the window of opportunity is shrinking. Every day, more of these coins are discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections. What happens when they're all gone? The value spikes. So if you're sitting on one and don't know it, you're literally watching life-changing money slip through your fingers. Here's what you need to do today. First, check your change. Look for 1997 quarters with a D mint mark. That's the tiny letter just under Washington's ponytail. Next, look closely. Is the coin off-center? Are the edges uneven or slightly doubled? If yes, do not spend it. Instead, take clear photos and consult a professional numismatist. Don't post it publicly in Facebook groups or online forums where scammers linger. Keep it discreet. You're not just holding a coin, you're holding a potential fortune. Then, consider getting it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A proper grade could mean the difference between a few $100 and hundreds of thousands. And here's the part that should make your heart race. One collector recently discovered not just one, but 3 high-value 1997 D quarters in a single roll purchased from a local bank. How? Why? And what does that mean for your chances? That's a story I'll reveal in my next video. This isn't just about coins. It's about freedom. It's about making smart choices with forgotten pieces of history. That one dusty quarter could mean the difference between another year of financial stress, or the life you've always dreamed of. Don't let ignorance cost you a fortune. Check your quarters. Share this video with a friend who might have one. And subscribe if you're serious about finding hidden wealth in your own home, because the next millionaire from coin collecting might just be you. Most people don't think twice about a quarter. It's a coin you toss in your pocket or jar without a second glance. But hidden within the vast sea of quarters is a very rare and valuable exception, the 1998 P Mint Mark quarter. It might look like any other coin, but trust me, the 1998 P quarter is not your average pocket change. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and while it was made in large numbers, certain factors make it incredibly rare today. The 1998 P quarter is sought after by serious collectors for its unique characteristics, and it has skyrocketed in value over the years. We're talking about a coin that is now worth up to $936,000 on the open market. why does this coin have such value? It all comes down to minting errors and the rarity of the 1998 P quarter. Most 1998 quarters were made with standard designs and quality, but there were a select few with flaws that made them exceptionally rare. This is a key factor in determining the value. If you happen to find one of these errors, you're looking at a coin that could be worth life-changing money. Here's the catch: the 1998 P mint mark quarter is not easily found. And even if you have one in your collection, you might not immediately recognize its value. That's why it's so important to know exactly what to look for. So, how do you know if you've got this valuable quarter? Let's break it down. First off, you'll need to inspect the mint mark. You might be familiar with the mint marks on coins. They indicate where the coin was made. For this quarter, the P mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Now, here's a key detail. The 1998 P quarter will have a subtle but crucial difference in its design features compared to regular quarters. One of the most famous variants of this coin is one that has a double die error. This means the design was struck twice in slightly different positions, giving the coin a blurry, doubled appearance. If you find one of these double die quarters, you're holding onto a gem. There's also a proof-like finish to some of the 1998 P quarters that adds to their rarity. These coins have a unique, high-gloss appearance that collectors absolutely love. Not every 1998 P quarter will have this finish, but if you come across one, you could be holding onto a coin worth a small fortune. You might be wondering, how in the world did a quarter like this slip by all these years? Honestly, it's a miracle. Most people didn't even know to check their change for something like this, and that's where the magic happens. Sometimes, the treasure is hiding in plain sight. Now, let's talk about what this discovery means for you. You might be holding onto a rare 1998 P mint mark quarter right now, and if you don't recognize it, it could be costing you a potential $936,000. That's the value these rare quarters have reached in recent auctions. You're not just looking at pocket change, you could be sitting on a small fortune, but here's the catch: time is of the essence. Coins like these don't stay in circulation for long. As more people discover their value, the supply diminishes, and the demand increases. That's why right now, this very moment, could be your chance to find one and make a serious profit. Don't wait around hoping the value will go up even more. Take action. Check your coin jars, look through your collections, and inspect every 1998 P quarter you find. If you've been holding on to one of these coins, it could be your ticket to the lifestyle you've always dreamed of: wealth, freedom, and the ability to live on your own terms. Before we wrap things up, let me tell you about one rare example where someone found a 1998 P quarter and sold it for an astonishing $936,000. Stay tuned until the end of this video to hear the full story, because you won't believe the details. So, what's the moral of the story? Do not underestimate the power of your coins. What seems like pocket change could be the key to unlocking financial freedom. The 1998 P mint mark quarter is just one example of how rare coins can transform your life. If you want to get rich from your coins, now is the time to act fast and start looking. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Your future self will thank you for taking action today. Keep checking your coins, keep researching, and most importantly, keep believing that fortune can find you in the most unexpected places. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins that could be worth millions, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more coin discoveries that could change your life. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next coin you find could be the one that makes you rich.